Hey guys, don't know how to even start your AACOMAS personal statement? I'm sharing 5 key elements, and by the end of this video, you'll know how to get started and how to write your acceptance. Meet Sajin. I remember chatting with him about all things messaging. He wanted to work together, but he wasn't sure how to kind of build his narrative. He wasn't sure how involved I would be in the process. And so months and months later, after we curated his message, he got multiple DO application interview invites and acceptances, and now he's an MS3. And so we worked together to fine tune his messaging, tailor each section to really craft the kind of pitch for his candidacy so that he maximizes his chances. And that could be you. All right, so let's get started. If you want to chat about how I work with students, grab your spot on our calendar and we could chat today. All right, so step 1, understanding the AACOMAS personal statement. First and foremost, understand what you're doing, right? What they're asking you to do. The AACOMAS personal statement has a 5,300 character limit, just like the AMCAS personal statement, right? So, however, you want to kind of focus your needs slightly differently, especially if you're applying to MD and DO. Both statements require you to explain your motivation for pursuing medicine, yet the AACOMAS statement should emphasize why you're drawn to osteopathic medicine specifically, right? So you want to kind of really showcase your philosophical alignment. The osteopathic medicine is rooted in holistic approach, right? And you want to consider the whole person, including environment, lifestyle, emotional well-being. And while the MD has a lot of this overlap, you really want to showcase OMT knowledge, DO knowledge specifically, a commitment to this principle in your AACOMAS personal statement. So the first key element is to emphasize holistic care. This is the cornerstone of osteopathic medicine. So the personal statement should reflect your understanding and commitment to treating the whole person. So let's do kind of like an excerpt workshop, right? So this is from a student. Quote, "During my time volunteering at the community clinic, I realized that treating a patient's physical symptoms was only part of the equation. There, I met Cordelia, who struggled to get to her appointment on time because of the metro being late. She would enter flustered and flushed. I learned this after opening our chats with questions on home life, stress levels, and overall well-being. Elevating our conversations beyond transactional exchanges led to more comprehensive care plans and I believe better patient outcomes. I secured Cordelia a transportation voucher and many others social services support that allow them to remain engaged and empowered within their care. This experience solidified my desire to pursue a career in osteopathic medicine, where I can integrate this holistic approach into my practice." Okay, so a potential key element to your interest in OMT, right? The second element is, if possible, to highlight your exposure or interest in osteopathic manipulative treatment. So OMT is a unique aspect to osteopathic medicine that differentiates DOs and MDs, right? And so here is a sample analysis or student workshop excerpt. "I recall when I met 32-year-old Jacinda, who was 34 weeks pregnant with debilitating back pain. As I held her hand, I observed Dr. Callist perform OMT manual techniques, alleviated her discomfort, and improved her ability to stand straight up. I am eager to learn these techniques and apply them to enhance my future patients' quality of life." So element 3, let's talk about your commitment to primary care and underserved communities. Many DO schools have a strong focus on producing primary care physicians. And so a lot of them who have community outreach, free clinics, are working with underserved areas. So here is a student example. "Working in a rural health clinic revealed the devastating consequences of unreliable transportation and scarce medical resources. When I met Cindy and her daughters, she worried that her daughters hadn't been seen by a pediatrician in over 3 years and were probably missing key vaccines. Although it took them nearly 2 hours to arrive at the clinic, our work together set them on a path to reprioritizing their health and wellness. While Cindy scheduled a mammogram, her daughters received their shots and scheduled their next well checks. Dr. Ramirez offered a comprehensive plan to ensure the entire family were up to date on their preventative care, while I secured prescription coupons for Cindy's blood pressure medication. I saw firsthand the difference that a dedicated primary care physician can make in these settings. Osteopathic medicine's focus on primary care aligns with my goal of providing accessible, compassionate care to those who need it most." Do you have questions on how we can work together? Comment below, help, or send me an email or schedule your call. You have all that information in the link in the description. We can find out if you're a good fit. So the fourth element is to reflect on your personal growth through experiences, through reflecting on your clinical and non-clinical experiences that really have shaped your desire to become an osteopathic physician. So here's the student excerpt. My journey towards medicine was not straightforward. Overcoming personal challenges, such as balancing multiple jobs while excelling academically, taught me resilience and the importance of perseverance. Maybe too many buzzwords for me in that moment, but just to show. These experiences have not only prepared me for the rigors of medical school, but also fueled my desire to be a compassionate physician who understands and supports patients through their own struggles. So in this moment, I wanted to share this excerpt because this was a first draft for a student. I wanted to then, after this, it has a lot of buzzwords right now, resilience, perseverance. I want to see that. So balance that out. Show me you working. Show me that balance and how kind of at times overwhelming or tedious the balance was to kind of really find your space and breath to kind of give yourself the experiences that you wanted to deepen your practice and your awareness of osteopathic medicine, right? And your clinical experiences, but then also kind of balancing your necessities and your to-dos that really kind of help shape resilience and perseverance. So I wanted to share that first draft just to kind of, if you get that instinct or you're relying a little bit too much on buzzwords, you want to see kind of examples. You want to show that. So the final element is to connect your personal values to osteopathic principles, right? So osteopathic schools are looking for students who not only understand, but also live by the principles of osteopathic medicine. So here's a powerful excerpt that I think really can kind of showcase a little bit of what we could trend towards. So empathy and compassion have always been core values in my life, whether volunteering at a homeless shelter or supporting a friend through a difficult time. You can give now there some details into that friendship or into that in the first example, right? So these values align with the osteopathic principle of treating the whole person, not just their symptoms. I believe that by combining these values with the holistic approach of osteopathic medicine, I can make a meaningful impact on my future patients. So you have there the skeletal outline for that paragraph. What you need is the middle part, right? Showing these examples in kind of real time. So in summary, writing a standout AACOMAS personal statement requires a deep understanding of the osteopathic principles and a commitment to this holistic patient-centered care that DO schools prioritize. That's not to say that MDs don't. I have a number of videos. If you want to see, I'll link some up on MD and DO, but to speak specifically on the personal statement for AACOMAS, you really want to kind of showcase these different osteopathic principles and the commitment to such a principle. Remember, crafting your personal statement, especially if you're balancing between MD and DO, you want to assess the DO. It doesn't necessarily have to be a different personal statement, or sometimes it's really just a degree where you're changing a line or two or a paragraph here and there to showcase more kind of DO principles versus MD principles, but really kind of take stock in the fact that you're writing a DO personal statement, that you're not just writing one statement that can go anywhere, right? It may, but you want to make sure that you're using it not because by default that's what you have, but because you are tailoring your message to the AACOMAS principle. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you soon in my next video. And remember, if you want to learn how I work with students, definitely get your spot on my calendar and we can chat and see if we're a good fit. Talk soon. Take care. Bye.